everyone. Good afternoon. I am Nilesh Mandlecha. I am a psychologist by profession and I have done my MBA in HR. I conduct training programs for more than 50 different companies for management and non-management people. I have taken many programs for TV channels. Some of these programs were live programs. I conduct programs for trade unions across all political parties. I am visiting faculty for management institutes. And for the last 14 years, I am practicing as a psychologist. Our today's subject is cognitive behavior therapy for weight loss. You might wonder why this psychotherapy and weight loss, what is the connection? Because all the things happens twice in this world. First in our mind and then in actual world. People are successful in their mind first, or they fail in their mind first. Then they fail in actual world, or they get success in actual world. So if this psychotherapy, cognitive behavior therapy, is developed by Dr. Aaron Beck and his daughter, Dr. Judy S. Beck. She developed one program called Beck Diet Solution. I am going to talk about that program, Beck Diet Solution. This entire program is based on Beck Diet Solution. So I am really thankful to Judy S. Beck, who has developed this program. So this presentation is based on the book Beck Diet Solution by Judy S. Beck, daughter of Aaron B. Beck. The aim of the presentation is to create awareness in the people about diet and weight loss. So this is not any commercial program or any just create awareness about how cognitive behavior therapy can be used for weight loss. I personally immensely benefited. I have used this for myself and I have lost 13 kg in last 4 months. This cognitive therapy plus personal training, these two things I have done. So I am going to share my experience of this journey of cognitive therapy.
So when you say cognitive, what does it mean?
Yeah, wait, it will come. Cognitive, what is that? Do you know 60% of the death in the world are associated with food, what people eat? As per World Health Organization, by 2020, number one cause of death will be heart attack. And in heart attack, 80% due to improper diet or improper food. That means diet is very important. What we eat, what we put in our mouth. In the United States, nearly 2/3 of adults and ever-increasing number of children and adults are overweight. And in India also this number is growing. So what is CBT, your question? What is cognitive behavior therapy? The word cognitive refers to thinking. Cognition means thinking, cognitive means thinking. Major component of treatment is focused on correcting people's distorted thinking. There are distortions in our thinking. Whenever we take any decision about eating, exercise, there are certain sabotaging thoughts. How we can deal with those thoughts, how we can change them, the entire program is based on that. It's not a diet plan, it's your mental preparation for weight loss.
Psychosomatic.
Not psychosomatic, it's related to weight loss. Psychosomatic is something different, but it is the main of the aim of this session is about weight loss. Right. I will request all of you to keep your mobile on silent mode. Learning how to change inaccurate, unhelpful thinking in order to feel better emotionally and behave in more productive ways. So the aim is to change inaccurate and unhelpful thinking. How cognitive therapy works, right? Cognitive therapy based on concept that the way people think affects how they feel and what they do. The way we think has got effect on how we feel and what we do. So before our emotion and action, we think. So the focus of the cognitive therapy is on thinking. Cognitive therapy helps you to identify your sabotaging thinking and effectively respond to it so you feel better and you can behave in helpful ways. So it helps you to change your thinking. For example, let's say you have the thought, I am hungry, right? बहुत भूख लगा है. If then you have a sabotaging thought such as, this is terrible, I can't stand it, this hunger, I have to eat. If this thought is there, then you will feel panicky and you may grab some food, right? But if you counter your thought with helpful response, but it's all right, I'm going to eat in a couple of more hours, I can wait, you will feel control and you will get involved actively. That means when we take decision about food, thoughts are also there in the mind, right? And there are two types of thoughts. One is sabotaging thoughts, other is helpful response. People can learn to change their behavior and importantly, maintain the change. People can learn. Shy people can learn how to be more assertive, but unless they also change their thinking, they generally revert to their old behavior habits sooner or later. So shy people can learn. Same way, the same kind of relapse is true in dieting. Unless you change your thinking, you won't be able to sustain new eating habits. So it's important to, and you can learn if you change your thinking. Why people are unsuccessful in losing weight? That is one of the most important things. They don't know how to motivate themselves continually. They don't know what to do when they were tempted to cheat. They feel about their dieting. They don't know how to view their slips as a temporary mistake, not a sign to give up. They don't know what to do when they felt overwhelmed, hopeless, or unable to keep going. They don't realize that they could learn how to diet successfully just as They don't realize that they could learn how to diet successfully just as they had once learned to drive a car or to use a computer. So it's a skill which can be learned. And they also don't know that dieting has many natural ups and downs. CBT, that is Cognitive Behaviour Therapy, teaches you how to avoid cheating, how to resist tempting food even if it's on the table right in front of you, how to cope with hunger and craving, stress and strong negative emotion without turning to food for comfort. Some people, when they feel anxious or depressed, they have a tendency to grab the food and eat. That is also there. So food is also the stress. So if you learn to manage the stress, then you don't have to you eat the food. How to motivate yourself to exercise even if you're not naturally inclined to do so. How to do all these things? By changing the way you think. Right? Then people who struggle with weight loss have a mindset that sabotages their efforts. They often have such thoughts as, I know I shouldn't eat this, but I don't care. Like this is one thought. It's okay if I eat this food, just this one time, only one time, right? I have such a hard day. I worked it. So I deserve to eat this, right? This is again one more thought. I can't resist this food. It's so tempting and my mouth is also watering. So I must eat it, right? So they have often such thoughts. Let me talk about more thoughts. I am upset, so I have to eat, right? I ate something I shouldn't. I may as well blow my diet for the rest of the day. So again, if I have blown up my diet for one time or twice, one more thought, also let's blow it off for the whole day, right? This is hard. I don't want to keep dieting. Dieting must be easy. So I will never lose weight, right? If any of these thoughts sound familiar to you, you are the perfect candidate for cognitive behavior therapy for weight loss, right? CBT teaches you how to talk back to your sabotaging thoughts in convincing way, right? How to talk, because there are thoughts, these are sabotaging thoughts, how to talk back to them with convincing. When you hear a little voice in your head that says, oh, just eat it, it won't matter. Oh, just eat it, it won't matter. Helpful response, yes, it does matter. I want to be thin. Every time I eat something I'm not supposed to, it makes it more likely that I will give up again in the future. It matters every single time. I am just trying to fool myself. If I eat it, I will get a few seconds of pleasure. But then I will feel bad. I can resist this. I want to lose weight much more than I want a few seconds of pleasure. So if you talk back to sabotaging thoughts in a convincing manner, you can change your behavior, right? So that's the reason thoughts are sabotaging thoughts, how to deal with that. That is main focus of this program, right? So CBT teaches you again the all or nothing thinking. That's either I'm perfect on this diet or I'm cheated, like extreme. Sabotaging thoughts. If I have cheated, I have blown it. I may as well continue to cheat for the rest of the day, week or month or year. So I have cheated, so I will continue to cheat. Right. Helpful response. HR means helpful response. Okay, so I had something I didn't plan to eat, or I ate more than I was supposed to. It was just a mistake. No big deal. I'll get back on my track for the rest of the day. Right. So again, this is helpful response. So even if I have broken, I can get back on the track for the rest of the day. See, critical sabotaging thoughts of dieters. These are errors. I am going to explain these after some time. What is rationalization? It's okay to this because. So again, people rationalize about their eating what they are not supposed to eat and what is not there on their food plan, whatever they have planned. Underestimation of consequences. It won't matter if I eat this. So samosa hai. It won't matter if I eat this. It's only a one piece, and then you may eat whole piece or you may want it. So it won't matter, right? Self-deluding thinking. Since I cheated a little, I might as well as eat whatever I want for the rest of the day, right? So again, arbitrary rules. I can't waste food. So what people will think if I waste food, or it's not okay to waste food. So even when that food is not okay for your system or your see what happens. If full होने के बाद भी क्या है वो झूठा नहीं डालना है इसलिए people eat, right? So again because internal rule says don't waste food, and that becomes a rigid rule. Mind reading. My friend will think I am a rude if I don't eat her cake. Say somebody is offering you food and you are full and you know that that food is not good for your health or it's not in the diet plan. So it's okay to say no, but here what happens, my friend will think I am rude. So I am trying to read the mind. They will think that he is offering or he made such a lovely dish. Exaggeration. I can't stand being hungry. That means I can't tolerate it. This is exaggeration. Exaggeration. Why exaggeration? When I tell myself I can't tolerate it, it means what? It will kill me. I will die. Intolerable means what death. So that's why it is exaggeration. It is difficult to tolerate. It is pain in neck. It is struggle to tolerate. But I can tolerate it and I can learn to tolerate it. And it's worth tolerating it if I want to diet. All reasonable diet will work for you if you have the right mindset. Right? Any reasonable diet. The most important thing about losing weight is that if you have to take less calories than you consume, right? That is the most important principle. Without that, weight loss is not possible, right? If you take more calories every day than you consume, then you are likely to gain weight. Or if you take same calories, then you will maintain the weight. So that means you have to take less calories than your whatever you are spending, right? So that's the reason. So any reasonable diet will work. This is a psychological program, not a food plan. That's what I have already. This is a psychological program. It doesn't tell you what to eat. It teaches you how to get yourself to eat the way you are supposed to eat. It shows how to talk back to I don't want to, I don't have to, or I can't voice in your head. So what I'm saying is that this, how to make changes in your thoughts. The program is sabotaging thoughts. You know, these are I should eat as little as possible. If others don't see me eating, it really doesn't count, right? If I give up to temptation, it's my fault for being weak. If I eat something I hadn't planned to eat, I may as well as abandon my diet for the whole day. So these are some of the sabotaging thoughts. We will see. See, many times, many people are not aware that thought comes first. You may not be conscious of it. but you always have a thought before you eat, right? Example, you see an open package of chips, say chips they come. You don't just automatically reach for chips, but and put it in your mouth. Your thoughts influences what you do, right? You don't automatically. What is sabotaging thought? Oh, I really want to eat that. It won't matter if I take one. And if you don't respond to these thoughts, then you will go ahead and eat it, right? This is the thought. So where you have to respond? You have to respond to this sabotaging thought. Then what is helpful response? I really want to eat it, but I shouldn't because it's not on my diet. I have to get better at resisting food between meals. Then you will not eat, right? So your decision to eat or not to eat is based on how you deal with your sabotaging thoughts in your head. Recognize thinking mistakes. Example, trigger is what? If you haven't eaten all the day and pass by people who are eating pizza, you might think, oh, that looks so good. I am so hungry, which might be true. So, you are hungry, that is true, right? In fact, this thought isn't necessarily a problem. So, I am hungry, that's not a problem. When you see a pizza or anything. The problematic thought comes next. What is that thought? The thought, I have to have some, is not true, right? I am hungry, that thought is true. And that looks good, that is also true. But I have to eat it, that thought is not true. But if you are like most people, you probably accept this last thought as true without really thinking about it, at least at that moment, and you will keep on eating. Recognize thinking mistakes. There are thinking errors which we make. I'm going to talk now 9 thinking errors which we make when we diet. Recognize thoughts are just ideas, not necessarily truth.
Yeah.
What we are thinking, it's important to check them. They are ideas, not necessarily that all the time they are truth. But we may believe that it's a truth, that it's intolerable. It's not a truth, right? I can tolerate it if I want. Your thoughts about anything might be completely true, partially true, or completely false. These 3, right? So they falls in 3 categories.
Yeah.
Thinking mistake number 1. All or nothing thinking. You see things in only 2 categories when there is really a middle ground, right? Example, either I am completely on my diet or I am off my diet, right? Either I am completely on my diet, either I am off my diet. This is again extreme, right? This or that. Either I am 100% successful or I am a failure and may as well give up dieting, right? This is again thinking mistake number 1. Thinking mistake number 2, negative fortune telling. You predict the future negatively without considering other possible outcomes, right? Examples, since I didn't lose weight this week, I will never be able to lose weight, right? Because this week I am on plateau. So the same pattern will continue. So again, this is negative fortune telling. But next week, if I do my exercise properly and follow a diet plan, probably I might. But because of this negative, this is not a fact. But the person may believe it is a fact and may give up dieting. Since I gave in to that craving, I will never be able to tolerate craving. Again, say mistake ho gaya, you gave it for eating, craving. And this is again but mistake that you will never, that is again not true. Then overly positive fortune telling. This is again mistake number 3. You predict the future too positively without considering other possible outcomes. Examples, I will be able to eat just a little bit of this food I crave and feel satisfied and will stop, right? So what I'm telling that, okay, I will eat a little bit and then will feel satisfied and then I will stop. But what happens? वो little bit का continue हो जाता है, right? It's okay if I just estimate the amount of food I am supposed to have instead of measuring it. I will still lose weight. So क्योंकि measure करना important है, how many calories you are eating approximately. So but क्या होता है कि it's okay, I just estimate amount of food I'm supposed to have instead of measuring it. So क्यों measure करना है? So still I will lose weight. So again that's a problem. Emotional reasoning, thinking mistake number 4. You think your ideas must be true even though objective evidence is not. That means what? I believe it's true because I feel so. There is no objective evidence. Since I feel like a failure for having strayed from diet, I really must be a failure. So I am a failure. This thought is emotional reasoning because I strayed from. Who says you made a mistake, but not you are a failure? I feel like I just have to have something sweet right now. So I'm just feeling. It's not true, right? It's not objectively true. Mind reading. You are sure what others are thinking, even in the absence of comparing data. So again, this is a mistake. Thinking mistake number 5. People will think I am a strange if I don't drink alcohol at the party. What people will think, right? She will think I am rude if I don't try the samosa she prepared, right? So your friend has prepared nice dish, and that's only for you, and you think it's not on your diet plan. And if you say no to her, then she will think, oh, you are rude. I will give you one more example. See, I'm eating after every 2 hours. What I have done, I'm eating after every 2 hours, so 6 times in a day I'm eating, and I'm carrying my tiffins with me. So that is, I'm following my diet plan like that, because when we eat something, एक ही बार खाना ज़्यादा खा लेते हैं तो हमारे सिस्टम के ऊपर लोड ज़्यादा आता है. बट जब हम ऐसा ब्रेक करते हैं तो क्या होता है कि हमारा मेटाबॉलिक रेट भी बढ़ने के लिए हेल्पफुल होता है. एंड माय मेटाबॉलिक रेट इज आल्सो हाई, इट इज मोर देन 1950. सो आई हैव टू ईट फ्रीक्वेंटली. So earlier what used to happen, I used to grab the food whatever it is there. I never used to plan much. Now I started planning. I have increased the intake of fruits, then leafy vegetables. I eat minimum आधा किलो रोज का सब्जी खाता हूँ. Earlier I used to eat less sabji and more carbohydrates, other carbs. Then so couple of things I started following exercise plan and all that. So I was telling this to one of the other person who was near to the gym, called fat lady. Then I told her कि मैंने एक बार क्या किया, मैं एक बार ड्राइविंग कर रहा था, बाइक था, 2 घंटा हो चुका था, मेरे पास टिफिन था, बाइक को साइड में लगाया और रोड पे खाना शुरू कर दिया. तो immediately she said, no, what people will think. So you understand. So this is the mind reading. People have their many businesses and they will not bother why you are, or even if they bother, what is most important? Losing weight or what people think, right? So
What is BPCA?
that is BPCA where gym है एक मुंबई में. That is the BPCA where I saw one lady. The example जो है, right? So self-deluding thinking. So we make errors in our thinking, and then we may give up our dieting. So that because then the behavior, because if there are errors in your thinking, your emotion and the behavior will have impact about that. Self-deluding thinking. You rationalize by telling yourself things you don't really believe at other times. Example, if no one sees me eating, it doesn't count, right? So I believe it because nobody is saying. So if it familiars to you, then what is important? You have to develop helpful response to counter this thought. Right? It won't matter if I give it to my craving, right? Again, this is self-deluding thinking. Unhelpful rules. You may mandate actions without taking circumstances into consideration. Unhelpful rules. I can't waste food. I'll give you yesterday's example. I conduct training programs, I have told you, for many companies. Yesterday I had been in Tata Powers to conduct one program on planning for that. So अभी जो सब्जी था ना, उसके अंदर पोटैटो भी था, मतलब मिक्स सब्जी था. तो अभी मैंने क्या किया कि वो एक जो पोटैटो जो था वो साइड में निकाल के, मतलब ज़्यादा ही क्वांटिटी में था और दूसरा एक था. तो what is happening? See, I can't waste food if that is unhelpful rule is there in my mind. It's okay to waste because it's either way it is going to be waste. In my going in stomach भी waste होगा और उल्टा वो ज़्यादा that will harm. So and what I started doing. So sometimes there are unhelpful. So then I started carrying my thermos. तो वो खाने में because every time I go in 15 to 20 days I'm out in corporate training. So if I eat that rich food, then that's become that started my weight जो बढ़ने लग गया है. So what started? I carried my thermos. और खाने में सूप रहता है ना, खाने में नहीं खाया मैं, उसको बोला ये थर्मास में दे दो. तो how to ask? Some people are ऐसे वैसे पूछने का. One of my friends है ऐसे वैसे, मैं बोला तो देगा, उसको क्या प्रॉब्लम है, बट टी टाइम में लेगा सूप, राइट. और स्वीट जो था, आई हैव स्टॉप्ड स्वीट, बट स्वीट जो था एक डिब्बे में रख लिया बस. दैट्स मतलब क्या, सलाद खुद का घर से कैरी किया, फ्रूट्स आई कैरीड. और लोग बाकी लोग जो है वो टी टाइम में चाय पीते थे, बिस्किट्स खाते थे. अर्लियर आई यूज्ड टू डू द सेम थिंग, बट नाउ व्हाट आई एम डूइंग, आई एम ईटिंग फ्रूट्स, सलाद और माय होम डाइट, खाखराज और व्हाटएवर इज देयर. सो बट अगर वो रूल रहेगा कि नहीं ऐसा, वो लोग क्या सोचेंगे मेरे बारे में. सो अगेन आई अंडरस्टैंड. So that is what wasting food. It's okay to waste. I'm not promoting कि regular ज़्यादा लेके waste करो, but something which is not good for your health. So it's okay even if it goes. कभी-कभी क्या होता है, कुछ मेहमान के पास जाने के बाद या घर में भी समझो थाली में परोस लिया है, तो waste होगा तो it's okay. Don't eat over it. And बट वो रूल रहेगा ना, एक मतलब कि इंटरनल पेरेंट में अगर रूल रहेगा हमारे, खाना झूठा डालना ही नहीं है. तो समझो आप किसी पार्टी में गए और वहां पर आपने खाना लिया और देखा कि वन आइटम इज नॉट सुटेबल, उसका टेस्ट भी नहीं है, पर खाना झूठा डालना नहीं है, सब बहुत स्ट्रांग है, और आपने झूठा डाल दिया, यू विल फील वेरी गिल्टी. और सम पीपल विल ईट दैट फूड एंड दे विल वोमिट, राइट. सो दैट इज अनहेल्पफुल रूल. सेम वे I can't inconvenience my family by cooking healthier meals or getting the junk food out of the house. अभी क्या हुआ? See again inconvenience. क्यों inconvenience करने का ना, अपना क्यों दूसरे के ऊपर लादने का. But sometime आपको फर्म होना पड़ता है. 1.5 महीने पहले चिप्स लाया हुआ था and my mother was eating. Sometime my daughter, my wife. I सीधा उसको ट्रैश कैन में थ्रो कर दिया. मतलब कहने का मतलब क्या होता है कि इट्स नॉट इनकन्वीनियंस. अभी आई ईट एवरीडे ओट्स, मॉर्निंग में नाश्ते में जो है ओट्स पहले, और उसके साथ काफ़ी वेजिटेबल्स जो है, राइट. वेजिटेबल्स कौन सा, फ्लावर, कॉलीफ्लावर, मटर, बाद में गाजर, बाद में ये फ्रेंच बीन्स, काफ़ी वेजिटेबल्स. एंड वो अर्लियर व्हाट यूज्ड टू हैपन, वी यूज्ड टू ईट पोहा एवरी डे. And my father-in-law also stays with me. Father-in-law, mother-in-law. Now, sometimes my mother. So he used to eat every day poha. So we said no. My wife is also said now you have to eat oats. That means what? Certain rules, certain habits which are there, which it's important to be firm. If you are firm or if you are determined about that, then your other family member also will learn the healthy habits, right? बट क्या दोनों आई कांट इनकन्वीनियंस माय फैमिली. अगर आपका ऐसा दिमाग में स्क्रिप्ट रहेगा, लोगों को खुश करो, दूसरों को खुश करो, खुद की बात लगाओ, then what will happen? See what happens? I strictly told my servant to put less oil, and once or twice she put, I literally threw that food. So क्या हो गया कि then other family member also they got adapted to that particular game. So कहने का मतलब क्या होता है कि there are certain changes which are important, and initially you may find some resistance, but then how you are dealing with that resistance, that is also important. और when I brought अभी क्या हुआ, अंजीर जो होता है ना, फिग, तो मैं 4-5 मतलब 40 अंजीर लाता हूँ एक साथ, तो वो 4 दिन में खा लेता हूँ, मतलब मैं पूरा दिन. My mother said नहीं वो एक ही खाना चाहिए दिन में. तो कहने का मतलब क्या है कि फूड का क्वांटिटी भी ये आज भी मतलब क्या होता है. सी आज सवेरे क्या हुआ, she made पालक का भाजी, उसको मालूम है मैं ज़्यादा खाता हूँ, तो उतना मैंने पूरा खा डाला, फिर मेथी का बनाना पड़ा. क्या होता है लीफी वेजिटेबल परचेस करते समय भी नाउ आई स्टार्टेड 6 ये नहीं तो क्या होता था एक या दो लेते और थोड़ा थोड़ा ही खाते काफी आई हैव सीन इन सम पीपल या उसमें पानी डाल के उसको ये करेंगे सो व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट टू इनकन्वीनियंस इवन उसको दूसरी बार भी बनाना पड़ा तो इट्स ओके राइट बट इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट टू ईट what is necessary and it's important to
stick to your plan.
Stick to your plan even when you know ये कुछ चीजें आती है so it's important to get social support also from others and get involved there right. Justification sometimes error क्या होता है justification you link two unrelated concept to justify your eating. I deserve to eat this because I am so stressed out or worked hard for the whole day. So because you are stressed out or you worked hard, you don't have to eat this if it is not on your food plan, right? You don't have to eat this because just these are your ratings. So stress ज़्यादा है तो you deal with the stress by changing the way you think about the stress. And if you work hard, you take rest and eat healthy food. You have an option to eat healthy food. It's okay to eat this because it's free. Again क्या होता था? Again I'm going to talk एक जो skill है give yourself credit after some time. अभी कई बार क्या होता है कि ये एक कभी शादी में जाते हैं पार्टीज में जाते हैं तो फ्री है ना और इंडिया में अपने क्या है कुछ फ्री है तो या फिर जब के अभी एग्जीबिशन में भी
फुल कर लो
एग्जीबिशन में जाता था बांद्रा कुर्ला कॉम्प्लेक्स में या कुछ बिहार तो वो काफी फ्री टेस्ट भी ऑफर करते हैं ना ये लोग टेस्ट करके देखो भाई स्टॉप नो ये फ्री है इसके क्या नहीं so that means what even if it is free but it is not good for my system so justify free है ना तो खाओ मतलब क्या है you know that again yeah exaggerated thinking what is exaggerated thinking you make a situation seem greater or worse than it really is उसको exaggerate I can't stand this craving you can stand if you decide to stand if you use anti-craving techniques I have no willpower again this is exaggerated thinking it's not realistic I ate this it's not on my diet plan it's terrible it's not actually terrible it's bad that whatever was not on your diet plan and you ate but it's bad unfortunate and you can learn from that mistake and you have an opportunity again to continue to follow your food plan you don't have to blow your diet for the entire day right now what is most important identify your thinking error right see you have to write whenever like I am going to talk couple of more skills so whenever there are some sabotaging thoughts in your head about any of these skills which are whatever I am talking first identify those sabotaging thoughts try to identify the thinking errors just now we have seen 9 thinking errors right so pull out your diet notebook and turn to sabotaging thoughts you have identified write down the thinking mistakes that correspond to each thought some of these thoughts might contain more than one thinking error होते हैं that's why और फिर क्या करना है try not to get self critical as you identify your errors in thinking if you do become critical of yourself create a response see what I will tell you क्या है मेरे thought में ये thinking error ये है so you don't have to be very critical about yourself just identify नहीं तो क्या होगा वो self critical बन जाएगा तो then it becomes another problem right so sabotaging thought I must be stupid for making thinking mistakes this is sabotaging thoughts helpful response there is nothing wrong with me everyone has distorted thinking from time to time it has nothing to do with my intelligence it just means I am a human the important thing is to learn what to do about my thinking mistakes I am taking the first step right now by identifying them so responding to your sabotaging thoughts now how to respond to these thinking errors you have to master 7 question technique which is one of the most important area of cognitive behavior therapy examine your common sabotaging thoughts reflect on each one by asking yourself what do I wish I could remember the next time I have this thought so क्या है that means you are planning if you have the same sabotaging thought if you are getting in future. So you have to plan. If you got the sabotaging thoughts in your head, write down and then challenge them or respond to your sabotaging thought. Write down your responses using the technique below. I'm talking about that. Not all question will apply to every sabotaging thought, but write down responses to the ones that do. Whatever you feel, yes, this thought is associated with me, write down that. Master the 7-question technique. What kind of thinking error could I be making? We have seen thinking error. What kind of thinking error could I be making? Right. What evidence is there that this thought might be true or not completely true? Right. So हमने देखा if thoughts क्या होता है, कुछ thoughts true होता है, कुछ partially true होता है और कुछ false होता है. So it's important to find कि which thoughts are partially true or not false. So it's important to challenge them, right? Is there any alternative explanation or another way of viewing this? See, alternative explanation is possible. Say for example, you think in your, all of you, you think about one situation in which you behave in a self-destructive way with respect to your diet and weight, right? जो ये नहीं खाना. Think about one situation, right? And you have आपने वो तोड़ दिया था, मतलब जो unhelpful behavior किया था, right? Now then I have a question for you. Has everybody got in their mind one situation specific? Right? If you got, then I have a question. If 10 people are facing similar situation, will all 10 people will behave in exactly the same manner?
No.
No. Why? Thinking is different. That means what? Alternative explanation or another way of viewing is possible. And once I get that, get this confidence that yes, I can alter my thinking, another way of viewing is possible, then I can change my response for the same thing in future. What is the most realistic outcome of this situation? Then what is the effect of my believing in this thought, and what could be the effect of changing my thinking? Say, agar, oh, I just want to eat it. I can't resist. It's so good. This is उसका क्या ये होगा? और अगर उसको counter करके change किया, तो क्या होगा? Effect क्या होगा? Right? If I change, if you see in your mind कि क्या होगा, then you will be motivated to change. Now this is again, if close friend, say for example, the problem which you have just now thought in your mind. If some of your close friend is having similar problem, what you will tell your close friend? What would I tell a close friend or family member if he or she were in this situation and had this thought? What you will tell? So, तो क्या होता है? Objectively, it's easy for you to advise. Then you might get some rational thoughts in your head. What should I do now? This is again action plan, right? What are you thinking? कि बोला अरे, see now, अभी जो मैंने बोला ये, what अभी ये इतना सारा work है. So उसके बारे में भी sabotaging thoughts होगा, understand? So क्या sabotaging thoughts say? This is lot of work. It might not even help, right? ये इतना सारा thinking errors and all that. Helpful response. This might be true, but I might as well do everything I can to lose weight. When I am thinner, I will be so glad I put in the hard work today. So when I will be glad if I am thinner, right? What are you thinking? Right, sabotaging thought. I have always thought this way. I don't think I can change my thinking. So अभी से चल रहा है, so then sabotaging है, अभी मैं नहीं change कर सकता, right? Helpful response. This is a skill that I can learn. It wasn't easy learning how to drive a car or ride a bike, but eventually I got good at those things, and if I practice, I can get good at responding to my sabotaging thinking, right? Cycling, driving, naya skill seekte hai. So this is again a new skill. So I can learn the similar way, the way I. When you change thinking, your responses will be different. Right? When you change thinking, your responses will be different. Why? Then what you will say to yourself, probably. These are the things you might say to yourself. I can control my eating if I plan in advance what I need to do. And if I practice what I need to say over and over to myself. I can control my eating. right? When I am tempted to eat something I shouldn't, I need to pull out my list that contains all the reason I want to lose weight. So it's important to write down why you want to lose the weight. You want to create one card. What I will do now, I will come back to this slide. I will first एक audio clip मैं आपको ये करता हूँ कि ये हमें पता होना चाहिए कि why I want to lose my weight. This is the first one of the most important thing. So why you want to lose the weight, right?
Creating your first card should take you less than 10 minutes, and it should take you less than a minute to read this card each day. Benefits of weight loss. So why do you want to lose weight? Take a moment to think about this question. How will weight loss impact the following? Your love life, friendships, family, career, and social life. Your energy level and participation in hobbies and recreational activities. Your body, health, self-image, and mental outlook. Losing weight will likely affect them all for the better, but I'd like you to think about each of these specifically. For example, losing weight might mean feeling comfortable undressing in front of your partner. It might mean getting back to tennis, golf, dance, or other recreational activities you once liked but now find too physically taxing. It might mean enjoying outings to the beach or to social functions without worrying about how others think you look. Try to think of as many advantages as you can. As you start to lose weight, you'll undoubtedly discover additional benefits along the way. For example, you might feel more confident and do things you don't usually do, such as speak up at meetings or volunteer to join a committee. Write the advantages on an index card and continue to add to the list anytime you come across a new advantage you hadn't previously included.
So this is the most.
How thin people think.
Yeah.
Have you ever?
Yeah. So the most important step in this program is to create a card where you will write all the reason why I want to lose my weight. Right? Why it is important. Once you are clear in your head about why I want to lose weight, then it's easy for you to act, do the action. Because you know why there might be a sabotaging thoughts in your head. Why to write? I will always remember. But when tempting food is around, this thing will slip in your mind, right? So it's important. So I will show you.
You will come on the track.
Yeah. Right. But when you have that card with you and when you are reading that card every day, twice a day,
It will stop you from.
yeah, it will. You will think before you eat. You will eat healthily because दोनों food available होता है. कभी हम बाहर जाते हैं, घर पे भी हमारे choices होता है food में. So but that's why I will come back to this slide again. Right. I will come back to this slide number 37 again. But I would like to show you first the reason why I want to lose weight, right? So record the advantages of losing weight. Why I want to lose weight? List all the reasons you decided to diet and think all the advantages of losing weight and read advantage response card every day, right? Why write the reason down? क्यों लिखना है? I will always remember why I want to lose weight. It's easy to forget when there is tempting food around, I already said. There will be plenty of times you will have sabotaging thoughts such as, is dieting really worth it? Resisting this food is too hard. I don't think I really want to do this. So, that time, this card, this is the most important card. Reasons why I want to lose weight. How important these advantages to me. You have to see what are these advantages. I will look better, I will be more attractive to others, I will be able to wear smaller size, I will be able to wear more stylish clothes, I will be happier when I look in the mirror, I will get joy out of shopping for clothes, I won't feel so self-conscious, I will get more compliments, I will be better, I will be in better health, I will be able to exercise without discomfort or embarrassment, I will live longer, I will feel better physically, I have more energy, I will be more physically fit. Right, these are advantages. I will enjoy sexual intimacy more. I will like myself more, I will feel more in control, I will feel as if I have accomplished something important, and so on and so forth, right? So writing down that is important, and I am telling you the samples, that what are the most important. So I have also noted down my, I will show you why I wanted to lose weight. I have told you this is I noted down in my book, why I wanted to lose weight: to reduce the possibility of getting heart attack. Because in my family, my father got heart attack, my father's father got heart attack, my father's 2 brothers got heart attack, my 4 cousin brothers got heart attack. So my first aim was to reduce that. So this is what my first, then to get more energy for work, then to increase my lifespan, longevity of life, to improve my professional image as I am in mental health profession, to play games more effective like volleyball, badminton, tennis, to increase mobility in life. My old clothes will fit me and I will save money on clothing, and that has started happening now. To learn new skills easily. Right? So there are advantages. So it's important to write down. Why writing down? Because we may forget when we do exercise करना है और lose weight. So क्या होगा? चलो jogging करना है चलो. So then if
it gives a meaning.
It gives you the meaning. Why I want to lose the weight, right? Then you are thinking, you are there, right? You are available. You might still be having sabotaging thoughts, right? उसके बारे में कि क्यों लिखना है? I don't need to remind myself of these reasons to lose weight. I know. The helpful response. I know them now, but think about all the times I strayed from diet in the past. I'm sure. I sure wasn't thinking of all the advantages of sticking to it then, right? तभी नहीं सोचता है ना. Sabotaging thoughts. I don't feel like going to the trouble of getting index cards and writing down advantages right now. I'll do it later. Right? Helpful response. To lose weight, I'm going to have to train myself to do what I need to do. Not what I feel like doing at the moment. If I put off this task, I might end up never doing it. Yeah. Right. Sabotaging thought. This is too much efforts. Helpful response. How much efforts? Is it really? What's the big deal anyway? Right. So that's again sabotaging thought. This won't work for me. Right. ये क्या है? लिखने से थोड़ी कुछ होता है ना. But actually it is one of the steps. There are many other steps. I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know whether or not it will work. The one thing I do know for sure is that I didn't do this in the past, and I haven't achieved lasting weight loss yet. I may as well as just do it. So what do I have to do? What do I have to lose? वो बनाने से क्या हमारा नुकसान थोड़ी है ना? You can.
तो फायदा ही होगा.
Okay. So once I continually remind myself all the reasons I want to lose weight, dieting will be easier, right? And there are 2 muscles in the head. Okay, again, resistance muscle or giving in muscle. Like which muscle you are strengthening in the head? Resistance or resistance muscle. Every time you resist eating something you shouldn't, you are strengthening your tendency to resist in future. उसको हम reinforce कर रहे हैं, strong कर रहे हैं. जैसे ये कुछ body के muscles अगर exercise करके ये बढ़ा सकते हैं, तो दिमाग के भी muscle को अगर exercise करेंगे, तो वो भी muscle powerful बनेंगे. Giving in muscle क्या है? Each time you give in and eat something you shouldn't, you are strengthening your tendency to giving, right? Whenever you feel the urge to eat something, you are not supposed to think about which muscle you really want to strengthen, right? Which muscle you want to strengthen. If you want to lose weight and keep it off permanently, you need to take every opportunity to strengthen your resistance muscle and weaken your giving in muscle, right? So अब क्या है कि just as अभी इसमें क्या है? As the decision to eat can reduce your tension, the decision not to eat can also reduce the tension, right? कभी-कभी क्या होता है? Some people they grab the food because of the tension. They feel and they feel that after eating the food, the tension will go away. But the decision also not to eat also can reduce the tension, right? अब क्या है कि I will come back to again where we were, right? We were here, right? 7 questions हमने finish किया था, and then I was talking about this. See, it's important to change thinking, and if we start telling these things to ourselves, we will be in a better position to deal. When I'm tempted to eat something I shouldn't, I need to pull out the list that contains all the reasons I want to lose weight. So I've told you why I want to lose weight. Just because I'm hungry doesn't necessarily mean I should eat it, right? Not necessarily that all the time. Craving always go away, and there are things I can do to make them go away faster. I don't have to give it to them. See, क्या होता है? There is a difference between hunger and craving. Hunger means आपको सही में भूख लगा है and it's important to eat. Craving क्या है? आप satisfy हो गया है and still want more. You see the food or smell the food, yeah, just because
you are greedy.
Yeah, greedy. So that's craving. Craving will always go. Greed will go away if you tolerate. Right. Say for example, if think about one situation, you want to deal with your craving. Right? You don't have to tell. Right? Think in your mind कि आपने पास्ट में क्रेविंग हो गया था या फ्यूचर में भी आपको लगता है कि ये देखा कि रहा नहीं गया या रहा नहीं जाएगा फ्यूचर में भी समझो राइट थिंक अबाउट वन फूड व्हिच यू लाइक मोस्ट बट इट्स नॉट हेल्दी राइट थिंक इन योर माइंड तो क्या होगा माउथ में होता है राइट नाउ
Saliva आ गया
but it's not healthy, right? Now we will do one exercise. Now think about one person. Think about the person whom you love most. You don't have to tell me apart from yourself. Think about one person in your family or nearby whom you love most, right? Now अभी वो आपको क्या है कि वो saliva आपको लगता है कि वो अभी वो craving है. You feel no, I can't tolerate this craving. Now imagine the terrorists have kidnapped you, the person whom you love most. और उन्होंने कॉल किया और बोला कि you will have to tolerate आपको जो है आपकी मेरी मांग पूरी करो कौन सी मांग पूरी करनी पड़ेगी अभी जो क्रेविंग आपने ये हेल्थ लाइब्रेरी के दिमाग में लाया है you have to tolerate it for 20 times then only we will release this person what you are going to tell terrorist
okay
why okay
Because that person is the love.
Love is most important.
Love is most important. So we can tolerate something to save the life of near and dear one. Why can't we tolerate it for our own physical and mental health?
Right.
So that means what? You can respond to craving. You can tolerate craving. That is the most, that thought that it's intolerable is not true. You can tolerate craving. Eating a reasonable breakfast and lunch is important, so I won't overeat at night. नहीं तो क्या होता है लोग skip करते हैं, and then they want to double खाते वक्त. If I don't follow nutritious diet, I'm more likely to cheat. Right? It's important that nutrition slower the better, faster नहीं. जो weight loss है ना, एक महीने में 10-15 किलो नहीं. Slower the better it is, because then I have to make time for dieting and exercise, right? It's important that हमें वो dieting और exercise के लिए time निकालना पड़ेगा. हर एक के बारे में sabotaging thoughts आएंगे. जब ये I will respond to some of those thoughts. I have to prepare in advance for sabotaging thinking. I need to sit down and eat slowly and notice every bite every time I eat. If I eat something I shouldn't, it's just a mistake. It doesn't mean I'm hopeless or bad. I don't have to make a bigger mistake by continuing to eat whatever I do. I want for the rest of the day. So I have to put my needs up for some time. It's okay to say no to people who offer me food. I have to watch out for fooling myself every single time I put food in my mouth. I will show you. I will do one thing. I will play one audio clip. जिसमें ये जो है ना, ये जो है ये सारे अभी जो हमने पढ़े, when you hear तो auditory sense भी उसके अंदर आएगा, right? So the important thing. Yeah.
I recently asked dieters I'm working with to list what they now know about dieting that they wish they'd known years ago. This is what they said. I now know I can control my eating if I plan in advance what I need to do and if I practice what I need to say over and over to myself. When I'm tempted to eat something I shouldn't, I need to pull out my list that contains all the reasons I want to lose weight. Just because I'm hungry doesn't necessarily mean I should eat. Cravings always go away, and there are things I can do to make them go away faster. I don't have to give in to them. Eating a reasonable breakfast and lunch is important, so I won't overeat at night. If I don't follow a nutritious diet, I'm more likely to cheat. I have to make time for dieting and exercise. I have to prepare in advance for sabotaging thinking. I need to sit down and eat slowly and notice every bite, every time I eat. If I eat something I shouldn't, it's just a mistake. It doesn't mean I'm hopeless or bad. I don't have to make it a bigger mistake by continuing to eat whatever I want for the rest of the day. I have to put my needs first sometimes. It's okay to say no to people who offer me food. I have to watch out for fooling myself. Every single time I put food in my mouth, it matters. I need to give myself credit every time I do what I'm supposed to do. If I regain weight, I can go back to using the skills I learned to losing every time. I can do it. I have the skills now. I know how to do it, and I'll have these skills forever.
Yeah. So it's a mental preparation again. What is important to say to yourself again and again, that is important, right? So this is what we have already seen it, but हमने audio clip में देखा. To lose excess weight and keep it off, it's important to do the following. Choose nutritious diet. I already told you about that nutritious diet, which will give you more nutrition, right? उसके लिए आपको डाइट कोच या डाइटिंग के बारे में जो बुक्स है, मतलब काफ़ी जो डाइट के बारे में, राइट, दैट इज मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट, उसके बारे में आपको वो या डाइट कोच आप ले सकते हैं. क्रिएट टाइम एंड एनर्जी फॉर डाइटिंग. इट्स इम्पॉर्टेंट टू गिव टाइम बिकॉज क्या होता है शॉपिंग, मतलब आई स्टार्टेड ईटिंग मोर इन फैक्ट व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड डाइटिंग बिकॉज आई हैव टू ईट फ्रीक्वेंटली. तो उतना सारा वेजिटेबल्स लाना, फ्रूट्स लाना, सब वो बराबर से वो हुआ है कि नहीं, प्रॉपर फूड प्रिपरेशन, तो 3 सब्जी रोज का खाना and all that, it requires energy, time, effort, so it's important to make a time for that. Automatic नहीं होगा, right? planning, management, so it requires create time and energy. Time and energy is required, but once you get habituated, क्योंकि कुछ भी क्या है slowly. एक दिन मैंने फिर मुस्ली लाया जिसमें 0 कोलेस्ट्रॉल है, मैंने कहा ओट्स ये किया, फिर one fine day I purchased dumbbells, right? तो एक जो है ना changes जो है slowly and gradually, but then it takes your time and energy, right? Plan what and when you are going to eat, what you are going to eat, that is most important. This is the most people resist this most. Yeah. I used to write what I am going to eat tomorrow or in the morning today, and I used to write again, आज मैंने क्या खाया, right? So research में ये पता चला है कि से for example जिन लोगों ने ये लिखा, से for example महीने में 10 दिन 15 दिन भी लिखा है कम से कम, वो लोगों ने weight loss, not only they lost the weight but they kept it off, right? That means you are monitoring what you are eating, and उस monitoring करने के बारे में भी self-sabotaging thoughts हो सकते हैं, right? Why to write, why to plan, you know? So how you deal with your thoughts, that is most important. Seek support, right? Seek support from जैसे social support हमारे घर में family friends in what, you know, they will give you some advice, और जैसे तेल कम डालो, ये मुझे अभी ये डब्बा भरना है पूरा टिफिन मेरा, ये रेडी करके दो, या you can ask for deal with disappointment. So it's sometimes you get, there are disappointments also in my entire cycle of 4 months. View overeating as a temporary problem that you can solve, right? Cope with hunger and cravings. Eliminate emotional eating. Give yourself credit. This is again I will talk after 2 minutes. See, important, lots of problem people have, practical problem and psychological problem. CBT helps people to, psychological problem क्या है? ये जो है, these are the reasons. I have, you finished all the food on your plate. See, have you strayed from a diet for any of the following reasons? You finished all the food on your plate but didn't feel satisfied. You felt upset and thought that eating would make you feel better. You were too tempted by sight of food when shopping at supermarket. You were too tired to cook, so you opted for fast food instead. You were too polite to turn down the dessert that your friend begged. You were at party and felt like treating yourself. Right? Party hai to. To successfully lose weight and keep it off, you need to solve these kinds of practical problems. Party hai to plan in advance. How much? You can eat 25% more in parties. For regular hai to dekhne, it's important for you to think. See, there are allowances also, but not more than that.
Tolerable limit.
Tolerable limit hai. Parties hai to again, it's important those people who drink alcohol, ya parties, ya when you travel. That time also it's important to plan what you are going to eat. अभी क्या हो गया कि when my wife also वो 10 दिन महीने में travel करती है, so she takes so many tiffins also with her and she ensures कि मतलब कि वो उस बीच में खाना ये खाती है. मतलब अभी मॉर्निंग में उसका पहले क्या होता था 2 या 3 टिफिन जाता था, अभी 8 टिफिन देना पड़ता है. आप बोलोगे कैसे 8 टिफिन या 3 टिफिन तो फ्रूट्स का, 2 या 3 टिफिन फ्रूट्स का, 1 टिफिन सलाद का, 1-2 टिफिन भाजी का, चपाती का, फिर सेंगदाना या थोड़ा ड्राई फ्रूट्स, वो ब्रेक सब करेंगे खाएंगे, फिर खाकरा. अंडरस्टैंड? सो डाइटिंग मीन्स ईटिंग मोर with less quantity. Fatty food नहीं है. Understand? Nutrition is more. That is the most important. लोगों को क्या लगता है डाइटिंग मतलब एकदम भूखा रहना. कुछ people, it's not that. वो थोड़ा थोड़ा खाना. It's not एकदम. अभी क्या होता है हमारे इंडिया में ज़्यादातर लोग क्या होता है सवेरे थोड़ा बहुत चाय पीते हैं काफ़ी लोग या नाश्ता करेंगे या नहीं करेंगे, फिर क्या होगा डायरेक्ट खाना खाते हैं बहुत ज़्यादा, फिर डायरेक्ट शाम को ही खाते हैं. रेडी देखिए तो उसको ब्रेक करना जरूरी है.
मेजर द क्वालिटी
या क्वालिटी ऑफ द फूड एंड उसको ब्रेक करो, उससे मेटाबॉलिक रेट फास्टर होगा.
2-3 घंटे में
2 घंटे 2 to 3 hours. फीलिंग साइकोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम क्या हो सकता है, जैसे मैंने कहा प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम है. फीलिंग ओवरवेल्म्ड बाय रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ योर डाइट, फीलिंग डिप्राइव्ड, फीलिंग डिस्करेज्ड व्हेन यू डोंट लूज वेट कंसिस्टेंटली और लूज एज मच एज वेट यू हैड फॉर, फीलिंग स्ट्रेस्ड बाय अदर लाइफ प्रॉब्लम. कभी कभी क्या होता है साइकोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम आता है, इसको भी हमें टैकल करना जरूरी है, प्लान करना जरूरी है. हाउ आई एम गोइंग टू डील विद इट. ये कॉग्निटिव थेरेपी ये दोनों प्रॉब्लम के लिए अब रिसर्च क्या है, सीबीटी और ये कॉग्निटिव बिहेवियर थेरेपी का रिसर्च क्या है. पीपल इनरोल्ड इन कॉग्निटिव थेरेपी प्रोग्राम लॉस्ट एन एवरेज ऑफ 18 pounds over 10 weeks of treatment, 9 kg, right? Meanwhile, people on waiting list जो थे to get into the program didn't lose any weight. मतलब इसका इफेक्ट होता है, रिसर्च में फाइंड किया है. Most people who lose weight on any given diet regain most of the weight within a year. My brother has also the same thing has happened. 10 किलो वेट कम किया था और पर क्या था कि वो फिर से रिगेन किया. Because it's important to maintain, and to maintain it's important that you need a mindset. To lose also you need a proper maintain वो mindset होना चाहिए. उसके लिए CBT हेल्पफुल होता है. और वो जो mindset है तो मतलब सी मेंटेन करने के लिए भी एफर्ट्स लगता है. तो इतना एफर्ट्स नहीं लगता है जितना वेट लूज करने के लिए लगता है, राइट? बट इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट कि ये जो स्किल है, एक तो क्या है, हाँ चलो वेट कम हो गया है, अभी एक्सरसाइज करने की जरूरत नहीं है, 2 घंटे के बाद खाने की जरूरत नहीं है, कुछ भी ये करेगा तो चलेगा. तो दैट्स नॉट देन समथिंग इज गोइंग रॉन्ग. But when the study of participants were evaluated year and a half after their CBT treatment, nearly all the 92% have not only maintained their weight loss, but also most had lost even more weight. See, these are 42 skills. I am going to talk couple of skills today only because हमारा program 1-1.5-2 घंटे का ज़्यादा मिला है. But ये जो Back Diet Solution program है, इसमें हर एक इसका skill है. I am going to show you some of these skills. Record we have already seen this. Record the advantage of losing weight, right? अब क्या है कि there are other skills. One of the skill is stop fooling yourself. What happens? Some people they fool themselves. How they fool? Dieters have amazing ability to delude themselves about food. They might be very rational and reasonable in other ways of life, but when it comes to फूड एंड डाइटिंग काफी एकदम इंटेलिजेंट होंगे, एक्सीलेंट होंगे, बट फूड एंड डाइटिंग दे में चीट